Christmas movies going in the background. It's awesome. It's Christmas Eve. Hope's baking a cake. And I'm taking this little reel that came off of my ultralight, and I'm going to give it a good cleanup. I think it all went back in that shoebox, sweetie. We're looking for my grease and all that. This reel is a Shakespeare FB30S. It's old. I've had it for a very long time, and it's been on my little ultralight, and it started getting stiff. So I'm going to go ahead and open her up and...
What do you want?
All of it.
That cheese smells good.
Smoked cheese smells good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have some of it if you want. Yes, please. Thank you.
I'm gonna shove these in my pocket.
I think
because
the
that's all I
Q-tips
have right now.
are here. Yep.
WD.
I might want the WD. I keep all my real fixing parts. I don't need a pen tool. Keep all of my... No. Keep all of my real oils and greases and all of that stuff in a shoebox. Everything but a screwdriver.
It's the pouch.
Okay.
I have a pouch.
Oh,
Yeah.
you normally put this in first.
I am different.
Because when you go to pour this in, it's going to make a mess.
There we go. Hope's just getting into baking. Oh, this little side plate's being obnoxious. Did I miss any screws? I don't think I missed any screws. I got all the screws out. Ah, see what the problem is. That's got to come off.
You didn't get
Switch this back around. I might have lied, Hester. I might need that pen tool.
Okay. How did I do that?
Nope, it's coming by fingers.
Bird.
So this is reverse thread
You were dying.
on this reel. And this piece comes off. And that's what's inside. These little grooves that you see in there look like teeth. That's your anti-reverse. And that just works off of this little guy
I
here.
can pour it. I can be gentle.
And you can turn the anti-reverse on and off with this little rocker here. I shouldn't need to mess with any of this because, well, I'm not sure yet. Anyway. I might pull it all off and clean it. And I was missing a screw. So there's 4 screws that hold the side plate onto these. It's actually my first time opening this reel. It's a little Shakespeare. I've actually had, 3 or 4 of them, I'd guess.
Yes, so.
But
I see that has
of all the different colors, I had the green one, the red one, the blue one, and an orange one. That come on little combos that you buy at the store. Little department store combos. But
Yeah.
Hope's over here having a realization.
What?
Alright, now carefully start popping this piece off. Spray it anyway. Okay, so there's the side plate. And the bushing came out of it. These reels don't have bearings. they have these little bushings.
Have my baking spray. Oh, spray it out.
You gotta mix it.
There's the shim. You see that's just a plastic bushing there
So just the bottom, they said.
with a shim. And there's another shim here. And it looks like there's, can't tell if that's another one or that's part of the casting on the gear. It looks like it's part of the casting. So anyway, there's your gear. This is what makes the reel work.
I got it.
It looks like there was two shims on this side, so I'm going to keep that on the handle side. And then
Okay. 8 grams.
I believe that is old lubricant. It might be why this thing was stiff.
Only want 1 can. Oh, that's 1 can, and then you had a can of water.
I'm not sure what that little thing is for. I'm thinking that
You want 2 cans?
Is it for all of us or just
yeah, it
No, just
matches.
you.
It's
So
just
it-
one can.
Okay.
I might have had 2 washers on this because this one came off of the. No, it came off of the nut side. So that's the lock washer for the handle screw. All right, now at this time, I'm going to pull this shaft out. Switch this back over to a Phillips. These little 6-in-1s are really good when you're working on reels because they've got all the different sizes on them and they're nut drivers. Okay, there's the screw for that. And this shaft is just going to pull right out. That's pretty dirty. That could be part of where all the stiffness came from.
No.
So now that that's out,
That went off as
These
soon as I
pieces just
shut
come
the door.
out.
I thought I broke the microwave.
just like that.
Darn thing.
Speaking of microwave, when I came in earlier, the microwave was standing open and the light was on.
Okay.
All right, so in order to get this gear out, because I want
Sure there's no
to really inspect that, I do have to pull this off.
right there.
So go ahead and get that off of there.
See the lumps now? Grab the whisk. Leave that in there, it's okay.
Yep, Hope and Hester are making a cake. It's Christmas Eve today. It's my birthday. We went fishing today, and Hester caught 3 fish. She stayed on the bank, and then I caught 1
Doesn't dribble.
little perch out on the lake with Hope. What's up? I'm okay, thank you. Ooh.
Now go like this and go do.
Trying to pull this all off as one piece. Oh, nope, didn't work out.
Only to get it, yeah. You're gonna get
So.
I'm gonna take this sweatshirt off and we're gonna get it away.
Anyway,
I like the sweatshirt.
It can get washed.
I know.
now
What
there
is
is the
more?
bearing. That's actually a bearing there.
Okay.
That's the only actual bearing on this reel.
It feels good. Okay, now stop. And then go like this all the way around. So there's no more clumpies. Just get to it. Nice and smooth. Okay, quit. Eat it.
Okay.
I will hold it and you pour this in the can.
There we go. There's a shim.
I told you? Yeah, pour most of it out and then. Okay, now scrape.
Bearing's in pretty good shape. I don't remember which side that shim came from. Can't imagine it would have gone on that end. I'm going to guess that the shim went on the gear end. that's where I'm going to put it back at anyway.
When you do that and you leave this,
And that's as far apart as I'm going to take this. So now I'm going to go ahead and just clean everything up.
hope you're
And then I'll show you how I lubricate it when I put it back together. So stand by. Alright, so I got this stuff as cleaned up as I care to get it. And I'm going to start with the shaft here. I'm going to set it all the way down in there.
hope it's probably pulled off.
As such. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of lubricant on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Penn Precision Real Grease. Set that aside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit right on there and then put her in there. See, I got a little bit of grease there. It's actually more than I needed, but okay. A little bit of grease on that part, and it probably wouldn't hurt me to go ahead and grease the gear face while I'm here too. You can do too much, and you can do not enough. You want to find that fine balance in between. Oh, hey, there's a big old bowl of soup. Just set it over there for now, hon. Thank you. Wife just brought me a big old bowl of soup. Okay. Yep.
Maybe you can have one of your dirties.
Oh, I suppose. I'm going to take that shim. Slide it on there. And it'll go all the way down when I put the bearing in. Now the way I'm going to lubricate the bearing is going to be with my Real X oil.
Coal.
And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some oil in it.
How it's snow coated.
Kind of spin it around a little bit with the oil. Okay, now the oil's coming out the bottom end. So now it's oiled sufficiently. Set that on there. Let it go ahead and go down, just like that. Okay. That already feels worlds better. I'll go ahead and put the screws back in.
Put it right here for now and hold that book.
So it touches. You don't want to over tighten it because you're screwing it into plastic. So you want to be really careful about not over tightening these. Start this one by hand a little bit. Okay. Now, beautiful. Nice and lubricated. Now this gear here, I'm just going to set it down there. Okay. But before I assemble it, same as before, I want to add some lubricant. So I'm going to take my Penn Precision Real Grease and I'm going to go ahead and put some in here where that gear rides. I'll put a little bit more. Now this is where you can really get in trouble and put too much grease in here. Okay, now I'm going to take the actual gear and some grease, and I'm going to go ahead and get some on the actual gear face here where it meshes with the drive gear. because these are just pot metal. These reels are Chinese. It's hard to say what quality of metal these actually are. Right now it's got a tab on it. See a little tab there? That goes up. Okay. And then this piece that we took off, the eccentric, this slot lines up with that tab. Since that's a moving part, I'm going to add a little bit of lubricant to it. Not a whole lot, just a little. Okay. I'll let that thing slide all the way back. So I got it all the way back. Sorry about that. So now this is the little bushing that goes in the hole there. I'm just gonna kind of tamp it down in there a little bit. Okay. Remember this guy? I'm going to add some grease along here where it meshes here. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully that's in camera. Now I'm not just globbing a ton of grease on here. Oh, I got a little bit heavy there. Watch me eat my words. I just want a little bit of this lubricant. Too much of it will gum it up, not enough of it and it'll dry up and you'll wear the gears. Now before I drop this in there, this is the surface here that rides in that bushing. So I'm going to get some grease on there. But again, I'm not going to go all madhouse on it. Pardon the noise in the background. Girls are watching Christmas movies. But this, I'm ahead of myself. Gotta put the shaft back in first. And same thing, I got it cleaned up. I'm just gonna smear a little bit of grease on it. Okay, just like that. Kind of go ahead and spin her around in there while you're doing it. Okay, and then that hole's going to line up in there. Take your little screw. Just snug. Okay, just like that. Now this gear can go in there, just as such. And then when it sets down in there and everything's meshed in like it should be, you'll know it. Okay. Kind of spin it and see how everything works now. I'm spinning it by the wrong end, but that's because there's nothing holding the other end of that. But you can kind of see how that eccentric works. And as this goes around, it drives this up and down. That gear on the bottom moves that little eccentric. That pushes this shaft in and out, which makes the spool move so that your line goes in level. Okay. Now, I'm going to put these two shims back in. Put them both on where they came from. 1, 2. Okay. Next, I'm going to take the side plate. I'm going to take the bushing. I'm going to stick the bushing back in the side plate. And I'm going to take some more lubricant. And I'm going to grease this side of this this gear here where it goes into that bushing. My dogs want to be involved. Alright, just like that. And that's just going to go right back on. Just like such. Now I'm going to put the screws back in, and I'll show you where we are after that. Okay, so I've got the reel back together. I went ahead and, well, it's not all the way back together, but got it together enough that I can spin it. And it spins better. So, but keeping in mind that it's riding on bushings, I think I can make it better because it's still pretty tight. So I'm going to open it back up, and I'm going to move one of those shims onto each side instead of both of them on this side. Okay, I just got done swapping those bushings around. And yeah, it's still a little rough. I might not be able to get this reel to free up any. It is better though than it was. Keeping in mind that it's riding on bushings, this is probably the best it's going to get.
Show them my pillow. Hey.
Yeah, that may yet improve. Anyway. I'm going to put this stuff back together. I think this is just a spring holder. It goes up here. Get this spring and wipe the goo off it. What did I do? Put it on backwards? I think I did. I think I put it on backwards. No, I think I had it right this way. Yep, that's it. Alright, then it gets this wide screw. Forgetting where I'm at here. All right. Still kind of stiff, but it's on bushings, and it's really not worth spending any money on, so it's still an improvement from where it was, but it's not silk, and it never will be riding on bushings. So we take this guy. It's got a rounded side and a not rounded side. Not rounded side goes down. Now remember, these are this is reverse threaded, so lefty tighty. And when I took it off, it was just only barely beyond finger tight. So that's all it's gonna get now. Ooh, I'm dumb. I used the wrong screw. Put the wrong screw here. This screw goes here. Hopefully you can see that. Yep. We'll get there eventually. Lefty tighty. Alright, this one wants to argue with me, so I have to stick it on the screwdriver to get it started. Just in there like that. Now something ain't right there either. What the hell? I might have to just throw this damn thing away. Oh, I see. It kicked the spring out. Yep, that was it. Had the spring backwards. One of the things you got to have when you're doing these is patience. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and wipe all the dust out of here, and then I'll show you how to service the drag. Okay, I got as much of the dust out of there as I'm going to get. I'm going to loosen this screw up here and put some oil behind the line roller.
You have been all kinds of weird today. Go look at the fruit.
Okay. I'm not going to take it all the way out, but I'm just going to push it enough that I have a little gap here. And I'm just going to
Does your sight feel right?
dab some grease in it, or some oil rather, on both sides. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. But put a little bit of oil on both sides of that line roller. I'm going to tighten the screw back up. That'll keep that line roller spinning. And you want that line roller to spin or you'll burn your line up. Okay, so now there's some counterweight on it. It rolls way nicer now. That's pretty good for a reel on bushings as far as I'm concerned. Alright, lastly, like I said, it's going to be a drag service. Now there's just a little spring retainer.
As he started doing the
Okay, just knock it out like that. The inside, it's just plastic. And then you've got your drag stack here, which is looks like zinc washers and felt drags. That one's kind of stuck. Not anymore, it's not. Okay. So that's an eared washer. And you've got your drag rings. So I'm going to go ahead and put away my Penn Precision grease. I'm done with it now. And now I have Shimano drag grease. This is for star drag reels, but I'm going to use it here. And as you can see, I don't have a whole lot of it. But basically, you just touch it and get a little bit on your finger. A little goes a long way. And you're going to work that into that drag washer there. That was a little bit more than I needed, but I'll put a little bit there, and I'll work that on. Put a little bit there, and I'll work that on. That just keeps these from burning up. You can see this one's kind of got a little bit of a rust stain. That's to be expected in one of these cheap little reels. Okay, so it gets a fiber washer first, and it gets the washer with the slot. Okay, another fiber washer, eared washer, and it lines up with the little slots inside the spool there, and then your last fiber washer, and your last drag washer here. Okay. Excuse me. So now we're going to take the little clicker and the little spacer. So this little spacer, what that does is that adjusts the height of this so that your line spool's on straight. So we're going to set these down on here. No lubricant on these because they're out in the open anyway. Oh, drop that washer out of there. Put this spring back in, this little spring lock. There's a little groove that it rides in. Okay, just like that. See how it locked in there? And it just Slides up like that. Take this guy, spin it back on there. Go ahead and tighten her all the way down real quick. Okay, the spool is locked up. Can't even force it. Nope. Okay, now I'm going to back this all the way back off. I just like to feel that drag start engaging. It's nice and smooth now.
It feels like somebody is taking a metal rod from the back to the front on my left side.
Oh yeah. Take this line and play with it a little bit here. That's actually pretty good. I'm just about to cut my finger on this mono. That's enough drag that's actually bending this reel, so she definitely got plenty of drag. Anyway. So there's your spinning reel service. I'll just go ahead and kind of wrap this back on. And then lock it back into the little tab so I can go put it back on the rod. Just like that. Much better shape than it was. Thanks for watching.